634, Abu Bakr ordered the invasion of Palestine and Syria. His plan was to take control of these provinces and cut the Byzantine Empire in half. Heraclius then reacted to that and sent a larger army to the center of the region. The best Muslim commander, Khalid ibn al-Walid, who previously operated in the Sasanian territory, joined the army. Heraclius traveled from Emesa to Antioch and started recruiting a new army to stop the invaders along the Yarmouk River. Enemies were now in the vicinity of strategically crucial Damascus, and Heraclius sent his armies to stop them. Unfortunately for them, al-Walid defeated the Romans twice and besieged Damascus. Damascus fell at the beginning of September. Aleppo and Antioch were now under imminent danger. However, now Heraclius had 5 armies under his command. His plan was to either fight 4 Arab armies separately or at least push them back. Initially, Muslim forces decided to defend on the Yarmouk River, but they were forced to withdraw to the plains beyond it. The Byzantines and Arabs held their positions for almost 3 months. There were attempts to negotiate a ceasefire, but they broke down, and finally, both armies engaged on the 15th of August. The leader of Byzantine was Armenian General Vayan. Armenian infantry was in the center, flanked by mercenary foot soldiers to the left and Greek infantry to the right. Each of these groups were backed by cavalry lines. Al-Walid divided his infantry into 4 groups, with 3 cavalry squadrons behind them and a bigger cavalry group in reserve. Arab troops had lighter armor, but compensated that with a higher mobility. It should also be said that the Roman army was international and multi-confessional. The Arab army, however, worshipped one religion and consisted of one ethnicity, so the latter had a substantial edge regarding morale. On the first day, elite warriors on both sides dueled each other, and it is said that the Muslims won most of the battles and killed many rival officers. At noon, Vayan sent 1/3 of his infantry forward for a reconnaissance action, and in some areas began pushing the Arabs back. Eventually, units returned to their original positions. During the Muslims' morning prayer at the dawn of the next day, the Byzantines attacked. Vayan's plan was to tie down the enemy center and use a numerical advantage on the flanks. After some struggle, the Byzantines succeeded on their left side, and their enemies had to retreat all the way back to camp. Sources claim that camp followers and even the wives of the Muslims joined the defense, and that allowed the defenders to drive the Byzantines back. The Arabs also had to retreat on the left, but eventually took back most of the lost territory, as al-Walid led his cavalry to the area. The Byzantine plan had failed, as the Muslim reserve counterattacked their center, and they had to retreat to restore the front. The third day started similar to the second, as Vayan's left flank was able to get an advantage and killed many Muslims, but al-Walid restored the formation by sending his cavalry reserve to the right. The number of losses the Arabs took was much higher than that of the Byzantines, so al-Walid understood that his defensive tactics were bound to end in defeat and tried to come up with a new strategy. The Byzantine leader was sure that his tactics were working and decided to attack the left once more. And as in the previous days, his forces were able to drive the enemy all the way back to camp. This time, the right center group of the Arabs also had to retreat, and it seemed that the breakthrough would happen soon. Al-Walid had to save the day. He ordered his left and left center to attack and tie down the opposition. As the Byzantine left and left center advanced too much, they had no one to defend their right side. Al-Walid would take advantage of this and send a group to attack there. The Byzantines took many losses and had to retreat to avoid encirclement. The Arab right and right center had its share of casualties, but it held off the opposing forces. Vayan decided to ask for a ceasefire on the 5th day, but his counterpart empathetically declined, as he was sure that his army was on the verge of victory. Instead, Al-Walid sent a cavalry squadron to secure the closest bridge, and now the Byzantines had no way to retreat. He concentrated his remaining cavalry on the right flank. On the 6th and the last day of the battle, the Muslims were ordered forward. When the infantry engaged, Al-Walid attacked the enemy cavalry and infantry from the flank and rear. The Byzantines still had an advantage in cavalry, but while theirs were spread throughout the front, the enemy riders were concentrated. Vayan's cavalry was crushed. The Muslim right succeeded in their battle against the Byzantine left, as the latter were attacked by the cavalry from the rear. Soon these troops attacked the Byzantine center, and that was the end of the battle. As the closest bridge was now under Arab control, many Byzantines, among them Vayan, was killed during the retreat. The Muslims continued their invasion. In the next decades, they took Syria, Egypt, and North Africa from the Eastern Roman Empire. The Romans never returned to these lands, and the Muslims still hold dominion over them today.
أمجادنا تاريخنا وسلامنا إسلامنا ملأ الوجود جمالا فاسأل خيول العز حين تسابقت ترنو السلام فتوجت أبطالا